One, two, three, four, five, and we are live. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. Hi, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. I hope you are doing well. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. How are you doing today? So, one, two, three, four. Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. Welcome to weekly Apostate number 5, I believe. Yes, it is number 5. Hope you had a great weekend. I certainly had a good weekend, I can say, I believe, as far as I remember. Yeah. So I've been thinking about a lot of things. Been following some news surrounding Islam. Of course, for those people who care about basketball, Kobe Bryant died. And I'm not really very much concerned with basketball, so I don't really follow the whole thing. I didn't even know who he was for quite a long time. As a European, I'm very ignorant on matters that surround basketball. So, which is of course one thing that will always make me less American than other Americans. But yeah. Again, thanks everybody for being here. I'll give it a little bit more time until I start talking about the issue at hand, which is about a French girl, a French woman who apparently offended Islam and is now in trouble, which shouldn't be a big surprise because that's what we are. Well, that's what we got used to when we talk about Islam. That's what I get used to. Thanks everyone for being here. Thanks everyone for coming. Thanks everyone for joining. Hello everybody. Hello everybody. Welcome to Weekly Apostate 5. All right. Last week someone brought it to my attention that there is currently a controversy in France going on, which is about this woman called Mila. Apparently, as the story goes, I could share the reports right here on my screen. Yep. As the story goes, Mila has offended Islam. Firefox. Mila has offended Islam. Mila was apparently having a live stream on Instagram, and during that live stream, Mila, who is aspiring to be a singer, was making a regular presentation on Instagram, and then a Muslim viewer on Instagram joined and started hitting on her, started advancing her sexually and all that, and she then responded by saying that she's not interested, that she doesn't want to have want to respond to these sexual advances, apparently. Afterwards, there's this guy who made these sexual advances became rude and started calling her a dirty lesbian, or dirty dyke, or whatever the equivalent in French for that would be. And after that happened, she became very angry and started insulting Islam. Apparently, he also said that he's a Muslim. And after that happened, she started insulting Islam and saying that she hates a religion, that she especially hates Islam. She hates the Quran. She misspoke and said that the Quran is a religion that is full of hate. But apparently, she was referring to the book. She said the Quran is full of hate. There is only hate in it. Islam is a crappy religion. That is what I think about your religion. Sorry for those who will be offended by this, but. You cannot just call me a dirty lesbian. And she started calling out the whole hate against homosexual people in Islam, and how strict and how ridiculous it is. Apparently, she went further after she said these words. It kind of went viral, and then she made another explanation on her Instagram stories where she said that some people might be offended by the fact that she insults Islam, but she doesn't really care. That some people might call her a racist. for insulting Islam, but that you cannot be a racist against a religion. That people who think that way should learn to think better. That they are uneducated and uninformed, and she went even further and said that those who try attacking her over this should piss off, and that she would not care about their God, their Allah at all, and she would like to put her finger up their Allah's behind and things like that. She apparently said, I don't know. So that's how it went, and I don't know. Afterwards, the whole thing went viral. She started getting an immense number of threats. The police apparently told her that she should go into hiding because numerous people across the country started threatening her, started telling her that she that she should be attacked, she should be attacked and killed in the middle of the street, she should be raped, and she's only 16 years old, that she should be raped. And numerous people went out there and said that it is unacceptable, that she should face the consequences for insulting Islam. Hashtag started, which was Je suis Mila, which means I am Mila, and then an opposing hashtag, which is Je suis pas Mila, which is I am not Mila, started. So this became a huge controversy in the country. And currently she's just out of the spotlight. She's kind of being protected by the police. There is a big change.org petition going on to ask the government and to ask security forces to provide protection for Mila for against all these people who threatened her. So far it has collected 11,000 signatures, and it's still going on. For all those people who want to participate, you can go there and look at this. It hasn't really spread very much into the international arena, but so that's what the situation is basically currently like. Again, someone is being targeted, being threatened, being forced into hiding for simply voicing their opinion on Islam, and for simply insulting Islam and offending Islam. I mean, the things she said might have not been the most decent things to say, but they are things that a regular person in today's Western society can say about anything. You know, we have Western societies are built on the values of philosophies that value intellectual thought and life over chauvinism, over hate. Especially after the Enlightenment, in Europe we came to the conclusion that we should be able to express our opinions freely, even if those opinions are disliked by big parts of the population, even if they are disliked by the majority of the population or by the state. We should be able to express our opinions. We should have free speech and say whatever we want. We should be able to make fun of things and mock things and not be threatened for the things that we say, even if they sound a little bit ridiculous. But here we are in the 21st century. And we have a significant population in France that doesn't react very well to this at all, and the French police has no other choice than to tell this French girl to go into hiding. And the thing is, the sequence of things that happened is that this girl is just sharing her experiences on her own personal Instagram profile. She's going live, and she's performing and presenting herself to the public, to her viewers. And someone comes and advances her in a dirty way. She says no, and then she's attacked as a dirty, filthy lesbian by a person who identifies as a Muslim, and she merely then reacts. I mean, she is attacked for what she is, for what her identity is, for what for her sexual orientation, and she merely reacts to someone's thought, to someone's ideology, to someone's religion, and she is then the one who is being threatened. She's also currently apparently under investigation to find out whether the words she said constitute a hate crime or not, whether it's a hate speech, whether it's hate speech or not, and that in and of itself is a ridiculous thing too. I mean, such a concept shouldn't even exist. The things she said, which are obviously just words of anger against a religion, not against religious people. shouldn't be a crime. She's voicing her disagreement, her rejection. And the funny thing is, she clearly says that your religion is filled with hate. Your religion is a religion of hate. It is filled with hate. And the reaction she receives for that is a bunch of hate from thousands of people who threaten her and who call others to violate her and to attack her and to kill her. And she calls out Islam for hate, because she's being attacked as a lesbian. And then what she gets in response is a lot of hate, which basically proves her point. So that is currently the situation. I don't know. This has become a nationwide issue. Politicians have talked about it. The news have talked about it. Have picked it up. That has been going on the last week. I don't know how much the matter will unfold. What else will happen with this? If her safety is guaranteed, I hope that the police and security forces are taking care of her safety, and I hope nothing serious will happen. But this is what is still happening. I mean, we try to talk about how criticizing Islam, how voicing our opinion about it is okay, and how we shouldn't fear for our safety if we just do that. But here we are still facing these same problems. People have been killed for making films about Islam, for criticizing Islam. People have been lynched, have been attacked, have been called all kinds of names. People are still being attacked in Europe all the time for that, even if it doesn't reach the global news. These issues are still going on, and all we can do about it apparently is to attract more attention to this concern, to these issues. So that's how it currently looks. I want to thank Adam Boland, who made a super chat. Thank you so much, Adam Boland, for the super chat. I appreciate it very much. There's no question attached to it, but if you want to make super chats, you can always attach questions to it. I will always, after I'm done with the current talk, come to questions, and I will always give preference to those super chat questions. Back to the issue. This topic of Mila that is currently going on reminds me of a woman in America, I believe in the state of Washington, who when the whole controversy was going on about drawing a Muhammad cartoon, she drew a Muhammad cartoon, and she just made it public. She just published it, and she didn't think very much about it. To her, it wasn't a matter. It wasn't really a political statement. It was just a thing, like satire. We do satire, and she just wanted to participate in satire, so she drew a Muhammad cartoon, and as a result, she received so many threats. She was directly threatened by Islamic terrorists who directly said that they would find where she lives and would kill her. As a result, she was protected by the FBI, and eventually she decided to go into hiding and to change her name. In reality, in fact, this woman she doesn't publicly exist anymore. She disappeared. After she drew cartoons of Muhammad, and she went into hiding. She actually stayed in hiding. She changed her name, and there is nothing known about her anymore. I was so concerned about that. I felt for that. I wanted to look it up and to see if she can be found, if she can be reached, but there is actually no way of reaching her. I don't want to mention her name. I don't want to bring up the story right now because I believe it is maybe in her best interest to just kind of keep it buried. But I want to mention it briefly. That's how far this issue goes. That's how far it goes when you insult Islam. And the funny thing is, I grew up a Muslim, and I grew up in a very strictly religious family and a strictly religious environment. And I also lived in Turkey, and I was part of religious organizations and religious groups in Turkey that are very active in spreading Islam, in spreading the Islamic message, and in criticizing other religions, in criticizing Christianity and Judaism, and explaining why Christianity is a false religion, why Christianity is a religion of idolatry. and why Judaism is a religion of treason and all that stuff, you know. And when I was part of those things, and even if I wasn't part of those, when you are in an Islamic environment, in Islamic organizations, in an Islamic country, it is completely normal that these organizations or individuals make publications, written publications or spoken publications, in which they explicitly insult other religions, in which they call Christians perverted liars and enemies and crusaders that will face their end toward the end times. You know, that's what they say. Or they call Jews treacherous murderers that will be wiped out soon. You know, they say these things. They directly attack groups of people. There is no limit to what they say about the religions themselves. I mean, to the religions themselves, they call them a perversion. They call them evil. They call them, you know, they call them all kinds of things, and that doesn't face any repercussion from the public or from the states at all. And no one says anything about that, and the Muslims are proud of that. Muslims think that they can do that they are supposed to do that because their mission is true, their Islamic position is true, and they are supposed to reveal the false nature of other religions and the true nature of their own religions. But as soon as the other side starts responding, as soon as the other side just says, I don't like Islam. Islam is a religion of hate. Then that becomes a controversy. That becomes a huge subject of a major conflict. That is ridiculous. It is really ridiculous, the hypocrisy of what we are dealing with here. And when Western people and Western governments and politicians and the media even support them and think that our criticism of Islam is problematic and that our insults, that our offending Islam is the problem, then that really reveals how naive and how stupid we are, and how strong they are, and how easily we give in to their appeal to emotions. I was roaming the internet as looking into this France Mila issue, and I saw that there were several French people who were like, you know, as a French person, I am against what Mila did because her language was very offensive, and no one has the right to offend other people's religion, and I apologize on my part. And I thought, you stupid idiot, you know, you moron, you would be killed if you if you gave in to those people who are offended by Mila's offending of Islam. So, anyways, I'll continue with this thoughts and offending Islam and cartoons and all that stuff, because I believe there is something. I believe there is also a good side of all of this that we can observe in the last 2 decades. But briefly, Julie Mora made a super chat. Julie said, I have no questions, AP, but sending you lots of love. Thank you so much, Julie. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. Julie Mora has a very interesting channel, by the way. She talks, I don't know if, yeah, she's still active. She talks about Islam too, about societal issues, about matters in Canada. If you want to visit and follow Julie Mora, you can find Julie Mora right up there in the super chat section. Go on her channel, check it out. Very nice. Different perspectives. So thanks to Julie for being here. Back to the topic. I want to point out something nice though. You know, many people who have been following or who are aware of the issues know that there have been these controversies. You know, the Danish cartoonists who draw the Muhammad cartoon. In fact, if I could bring that up, I would love to include that into my into my video right now. Danish Muhammad cartoon. The guy who drew the Muhammad cartoon was brutally threatened, and it wasn't just threats. It wasn't just fear on a personal and national level. It became so huge that major protests in countries, major protests around the world started because this Danish guy drew a cartoon of Muhammad. Many people know what I'm talking about, but here it is briefly. This Muhammad cartoon. and many more Muhammad cartoons. And major protests broke out. Muslims, radical Muslims, fundamentalist Muslims everywhere around the world started going around and burning the streets and burning embassies and attacking buildings and burning flags and all that stuff. This became a huge issue, and then people after this started organizing Draw Muhammad cartoon contests. They even started doing this physically. I believe Pamela Geller among some even started organizing these contests in specific places and announcing where those places are. In fact, one of her events was even attacked by Islamic terrorists. But people like her started these actions to draw more cartoons and to draw more attention to the fact that we should be able to just draw cartoons without being threatened, without being killed. Charlie Hebdo, the which is again France, the center of Charlie Hebdo was attacked only recently, a few years ago, for drawing Muhammad cartoons, and many people pointed out that there is no use in more provocation, in saying, well, we can't draw cartoons, in making Draw Muhammad contests and all that stuff. Many people thought there is no use to it. But I believe the last decades have kind of proven that there is actually some benefit to it. I mean, we have more and more... it has become more and more normal to draw cartoons. I mean, I have a cartoon as the as the icon of my channel. I have cartoons as emojis that you can now use here in my comment section. We have cartoons everywhere. We have cartoons on social media. People post them on Twitter. People post them on Instagram and even on Facebook, which is a giant snowflake platform. People post them on YouTube videos, and we see more and more that we are able to do these things, that this is getting normalized, that we are not being attacked and being killed for every single cartoon that we draw. There are, of course, still people who are outraged about the fact that we draw cartoons, but it is getting normalized. This is the power of coming together and resisting, of coming together as thousands of people, as numerous people, and actually insisting that we can and we will do this specific thing without the fear of being killed, of being attacked with bombs and with stabbings and shootings. People have died because they drew cartoons, but here we are, drawing more and more and more, and they cannot do anything against it. So I believe there is actually a good purpose in insisting that we can offend Islam, in insisting that we can offend it, we can insult it, we can draw cartoons, we can do whatever we want, we can express our opinions. It is a religion. We don't have to like it, we don't have to respect it, we don't have to sympathize with it, we don't have to do anything with it. We can say, hey, this religion is ridiculous and I don't like it. This religious figure at the center of it is ridiculous and I don't like him. We can say that, and no one can say anything about it. So I would encourage everyone to keep going with more and more criticism and offensive,ness and whatever you want, as long as you stay decent, as long as you stay humane and you don't threaten violence, and you are not the one who expresses hate against people, then everything is fine. Everything will only get better. Free expression will always win. Cruelty will never win. Anyways, so much to blasphemy and to offending Muhammad and offending Islam. If I have a few more thoughts, I will definitely come back to that. But I want to thank Rakesh Gowda for making a super chat. He made a super chat, said, what is your idea? Like, how is it possible saving the innocent people living in the Muslim countries, or where Muslim population is more? Well, I believe I'm doing one of the most essential things that need to be done if we want to change anything at all, which is to openly openly express our opinions about Islam, and to point out what is wrong with it, to criticize it, to show people why they shouldn't believe in it, why they should reject it, to show people what is problematic about Islam, to criticize Islam, to make people question it. I believe this is the first step to actually making some change, to actually changing something in the world. If we think that Islam is a bad idea, and that Islam is not only dangerous but also detrimental to people themselves who believe in Islam, then the first thing we can do is to go out and to study Islam and to point out what is wrong with Islam, to make videos, to give speeches, to write blog posts, to encourage other people to write, to encourage politicians to say something about it, to organize, to go out there and express our opinions, even if it's on a very, very minor level, to go out into the street and say something, or to go on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on these platforms, to say something, to point out why Islam is problematic, and why the Islamic world is the most oppressive world as far as minorities are concerned. The least we can do is activism. Go out there and do something, and then maybe we can talk about how much it is possible that we encourage our politicians or the United Nations, bigger entities, to force Islamic countries to actually do something, to take care of the Coptic Christians in Egypt, or of the Christians and Hindus in Pakistan or in other countries. Or of atheists everywhere in the Islamic world, or of Jews, of which many don't exist in the Islamic world anymore because they had to flee. And, the least we can do is activism. And by doing bit by bit, we can do more and more, and we can maybe pressure politicians, entities, countries into finally respecting human rights and changing the world for the better. I'm trying to do the best that I can do on my part. Hope it is good enough, and I will try to do more and more, and try to expand it more and more. And thank you for being here, and thank you for appreciating. Thank you for your question and your super chat, by the way. Thank you so much for your participation. Sojkovic made a super chat, didn't attach any question to it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it very much. I always appreciate it if you want to attach questions to it, so I can respond to those questions. But anyways, thank you so much for your participation. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. All right. If you want to help the stream and the channel, please like the video. Please use the like button. Many people don't know this, but the like button is actually a function, which is that it boosts a channel's performance on YouTube. It actually boosts the video and puts it into the foreground. So it actually does have such a function. It pushes the videos up. So if you want to help on a little level and want to spread the message, if you appreciate this, please take a second and touch the like button, not like Mohammed touched. Okay, I'll just drop that thought right now. Yeah, behead the like button, attack the like button like we had just issued a fatwa on the like button. Anyways, Patty Gagan said in a super chat, my stepdaughter has an Islamic friend. She says we are Islamophobic and we need to research on Islam. What verses from Quran is good to counter? You can text later if you wish. I would love to. That's a good idea. That I can do this later if I wish. I could actually make a compilation of verses that you should bring up if you want to counter Islam with someone that you know, to someone that you know. And I believe some of the most important things are, of course, the wife beating verse, which is 434, the sword verses, which are chapter 9, verse 1 till 5 or 6. Then the verses about subjugating and attacking Christians and Jews and taxing them or other groups, which is chapter 9, verse 29 and 30. Those directly also express hatred against other religions and why Islam is against those religions. And then there are so many more verses about how brutal Islam is. You can bring up chapter 5, verse 33, for example, which is a very gory verse. But yeah, I would love to bring up more verses that you can mention in order to really lead such a discussion, such a conversation into the direction that you want to. Give me some time, and I might actually make a video on verses that everyone needs to know about Islam. Quran verses everybody needs to know. That's a good topic. But yeah, thank you so much for your question. I appreciate it very much, Patty Gagan. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. Slarty Bartfors made a super chat. Thank you so much, Slarty Bartfors, for always being here too. This is why channels like yours are so important. Small steps, but with big reach. Once you see the ugliness of Islam, you cannot unsee it. Thank you so much. Yeah, that refers to what I just said about bit by bit activism until we can go to bigger changes and change the world and change Islamic countries. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for appreciating it. But yeah, really, it really helps even on the smallest level if you want to go out there and tell people your opinion about Islam. And if you want to tell your opinion, I would suggest it is always the best that you look into a subject matter. You open the Quran, you read a brief article. Even if you don't want to read, you can listen to something. You don't need to listen to me. You can listen to me. I give you the sources, but you can go and check for yourself directly at the sources, inform yourself about the subject matter a little bit, and just have some discussions or just share something. Share my videos. Share videos of other people who criticize Islam. Just bit by bit, we can really make a change. And the criticism of Islam and people leaving Islam is really growing in today's time, and it is really making a change. So yeah, but thank you so much, Slutty Barfast, for your comment. I appreciate it. Laxman decides that just showing appreciation because I believe you are fighting for the future of this world. Thank you so much. Really, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. I don't know what to say. Thank you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for supporting this cause and for appreciating it. It is amazing for me to know. I mean, when I started all of this, I thought I would share my opinion about things, and some people would maybe listen, and there would be some reaction. I believed, to be honest, that I had a lot of stuff to say because I experienced these two cultures. I experienced the difference between the West and the Islamic world, and I practiced Islam and I spread Islam too. So I thought I had a lot to say about Islamic missionaries and why people should not believe in Islam and all that stuff. But I didn't believe it would grow this rapidly. But it is amazing to know that there are so many people who want to go with me and who want to support this cause. And yeah, thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate it. Aditya Desai said, how to save people in getting converted to Islam. There is YouTuber Daud Kim who got converted to Islam and glorifies it on his channel. I heard of him, and honestly, I thought of making a response to this. I think he's, what do you say? Did you just say Korean? No, but I know he's Korean. Yeah. I believe he's from Korea, and he was kind of doing this thing for a year or two. He was talking about how he's interested in Islam and that he even converted to Islam and all that stuff, but it was kind of not really attracting very much attention. And then he made a big headline how he announced why he is now a Muslim, and then suddenly it got the attention of all the Muslims around the world, and they all started celebrating him. And some people told me to make a response to him converting to Islam and to him, romanticizing Islam. And I went there. I went on his channel and I started watching his videos. And the first thing I noticed is that he's intellectually very lacking when it comes to. In general, he's intellectually very lacking, but especially when it comes to Islam, there is a huge lack of knowledge, and he's kind of trying to combine his own interpretation of Islam with traditional Islam. I looked at it. I saw that even Mufti Menk, who is a huge Islamic scholar and apologist, went there and said, "Oh, welcome to our religion," and that stuff. And then I leaned back and thought, "Wait, so what is the right thing for me to do? Is the right thing to mention this guy and to make it a thing to talk about this Korean guy who converts to Islam, or is it the right thing to just lean back and ignore all of this?" Because what I noticed there is, Muslims talk so much about how the world is converting to Islam and how everybody converts to Islam and Islam is spreading so much. But at the same time, ironically, they make such a huge deal of one person somewhere converting to Islam. It just looks so ridiculous. Do you see the irony in that? On one hand, they claim that everyone is converting to Islam, the whole West is converting to Islam, which doesn't happen. You cannot see anyone who converts to Islam. On the other hand, they find one person who converts to Islam and then start announcing it to everyone and start saying, "Whoa, look, he converted to Islam. See the beauty of Islam." You see the irony. You know what I'm talking about. They become so they celebrate one example so much because they cannot really find anyone in practice who converts to Islam and who makes it public. Because people don't convert to Islam. People don't care about Islam. No one is interested in Islam. Islam is not growing fantastically by conversion. People are not converting in masses. People don't care about this religion. This religion has a terrible reputation, and the adherents, the followers of this religion, make the reputation of Islam worse and worse and worse and worse and worse every day by everything they do. By this example, for example, of forcing a French girl into hiding just for reacting to Islam. Muslims themselves are giving Islam a terrible reputation, and people in the world don't like Islam. People reject Islam. No one likes Islam. No one wants to convert to Islam. There are only few people, mostly troubled people in society. I have met 3 converts to Islam just because I was part of an organization that converts people to Islam. And in 30 years, they converted like 3 people or so. And those people were all, except one person, those people, 2 of those people were deeply troubled people. You go out there, you see people who convert to Islam, they're deeply troubled people, drug addicts, people who went to prison, who were in fights, who didn't have any meaning in life, who wanted to commit suicide, and then converted to Islam. And then they find meaning within this religion. It's not actually skepticism. It's not a result of looking into the religion and then finding out how beautiful it is, spreading it to more and more people who also want to accept it. And then everyone converts to Islam. That's not how it happens. Most people who convert to Islam are troubled people. I'm sorry for saying this. And yeah. The best thing I could do about this whole issue is to just let it go and lean back and laughingly look at the fact that these Muslim apologists, who at the same time keep claiming that people were converting to Islam, how they are so much celebrating one person who converted to Islam. That makes my day. So really, the best thing you can do is ignore it. Meanwhile, people are leaving Islam in masses, and those Muslim apologists are asking for donations because are asking for huge donations, making videos saying, "Did you know that so many people leave Islam every year? We have to stop this." You probably know who I'm talking about if you have seen it. Rishi Kashyap made a super chat, said, "Good luck, AP, in your endeavors. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you a lot. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for your super chat." Saint Miles made a super chat. Thank you, Miles, for being here every time and for always being a good friend on our path. Said, "Is there a fatwa?" With a Q? I don't know. Maybe there might be one on the like button. I haven't looked into that yet. I don't know what you're referring to. Okay. Thank you so much to everyone for being here. Thanks for the participation. I will go through some regular comments and see how things are going. There's been a super chat just came in from Richard Davis, but I will leave that to a little bit later. I will want to go into regular comments. Love Roscoe said, "Yes, like Sinead O'Connor, very sad." Exactly. That was one example. Sinead O'Connor converts to Islam, and they all go like, "Oh, look at that! She's converting to Islam. The whole world is realizing how beautiful Islam is." Well, first off, Sinead O'Connor is an extremely troubled individual, and I made 2 videos about that already, which I quite enjoyed making. Secondly, so many people who come from the Muslim world or who are assumed to be Muslims leave Islam. Celebrities leave Islam. We don't talk about any of them. You know, none of us makes that a huge issue. I could just list a bunch of people right now who have left Islam in even in Turkey, for example, or in other countries, who are celebrities and who left Islam. But we don't make a big deal about it because, you know, it is not us who are constantly bragging about numbers. It is the Muslims, and they are bragging about numbers while only finding a handful of examples, like Sinead O'Connor, for example, who really, I'm sorry for Sinead O'Connor. Anyways, Siddharth Shaurya said, Quran is a book which promotes terrorism. I would say the Quran influences and inspires terrorism. I wouldn't directly say that it promotes terrorism. I would say that it inspires those sentiments which Islamic terrorists base their motivations on. That is, I believe, the most accurate way I could actually describe this without getting the typical, you said Muslims are terrorists, you said Islam is a terrorist religion stuff. But without saying that it is directly terrorism, I would say that it definitely inspires the motives of those who commit terrorist attacks. And Dylan said, Islam is probably the most hated religion on earth. It is true. People don't like Islam. And there is nothing wrong about saying this. People don't like Islam. Most people in the world have, have this thing for Islam. Regular people, when you mention Islam, they go, please keep away from me with that. You know, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to deal with it. Because it has a terrible reputation, and people who believe in Islam are not really helping make that better. The funny thing is, when you are a Muslim, you learn that people hate Islam, that people in the world hate Muslims, that they all want to defeat you and change you and kill you and exterminate you and all that stuff. In reality, what happens is that people simply don't like Islam for the way that Islam is, for how Islam spread around the world, for how Islam tried to conquer, and for how the followers of Islam present Islam. You know, if you want people to like Islam, if you want to prove your point that this is a beautiful religion that people like, then present it in a way that people could like it. Don't present it in such a way that makes it contemptible, because that's what it is right now. But yeah, I agree with you so much. Absolutely. Thank you so much. AJ Saul said, I don't know how you pronounce that. I just pronounce it my way. Is your next video about Mustafa Kemal Atatürk? It might be. I'm currently planning several videos. The next video might be indeed about Atatürk, but not because it won't be directly focused on who Atatürk is and what he was, what he did, and all that stuff. It will be more focused on the caliphate issue, on why he abolished the caliphate and why he ended Islamic regime, why he ended the Ottoman Empire and the unity of Muslims around the world. I thought of the title, "A Turk Destroys Islam." That would be the perfect title. That might be very well the case. I believe it will be either the next video, or the video about the video after that. All right, but thanks for your question, AJ Saul. You're still posting the same question. I just responded to it. All right, the singing cat man. Idiots convert to. I wouldn't say that. I don't want to read that out. Okay. I talk so much. Gabriel Gray said, did my super chat not go through? Gabriel Gray, I don't see it here. I will check in my interface. Let me briefly check. There might be some issues sometime where your super chat doesn't appear on the screen, but I can actually see it if I check behind the screen right here in my viewer activity to see. Oh, I see it. I haven't seen it. Oh, okay. YouTube has this thing where I don't know. It's depending on the amount, it shows your super chat longer, or it doesn't show it at all. So that must be it. Sorry for that. But Gabriel Gray said, "Black Muslims make me laugh. Their own prophet hates them." I would actually. I talked about that in my video about Islamic slavery and how Islam enslaved black people, and how in Muslim history there has always been this hate and this condescending attitude and this hostile attitude against black Africans in Africa, and how Africans were seen as lower people who deserved to be enslaved, and who shouldn't even convert to Islam, because that would save them from their slave nature, or stuff like that. It is the Muslim slavers who actually made it a thing that people who actually started selling the black slaves around the world. It was the Muslim slavers. It was the Arab slave traders who introduced that kind of slavery to Europeans, and who helped the transatlantic slave trade happen. That is really a thing. And if you look at the history of Muhammad himself, Muhammad had numerous black slaves, and he even made it a deal where he would trade 2 black slaves for 1 Arab slave. We actually have a report on that, that he trades 2 black slaves against 1 Arab slave. He actually did that. He also described black people as slaves, and that's what Muhammad was. That's who the prophet of Islam was. So yeah, that's it. Well, thank you for your super chat, Gabriel Gray. I would love to talk further about this. It's quite a sensitive topic, but I would definitely go into it. All right, let's go back to the super chats. Richard Davis made a super chat and said, "How do you deal with death threats on YouTube? I'm so glad I found your channel, and it's opened my eyes to how bad Islam is. Keep up the good work." Well, thank you so much. First off, I appreciate it. I appreciate your words and your sentiments very much. Thank you, Richard. Well, the thing is, I started on Instagram, and on Instagram it was very common that I would receive hundreds of insults and death threats every day. It was really crazy. I had like the biggest account about Islam and of an ex-Muslim, and I received so much hate and so many death threats all the time. And I just, at first, I started laughing about them, but I was also kind of a little bit anxious, a little bit uneasy whenever I saw a death threat. But then I started just ignoring them, and I just got used to them. I got desensitized, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. I don't really care anymore. When I see someone who says, "Oh, I will find you, and we will find you, and we will end you," then I'm like, yeah, whatever, get out of here. I don't really care. I am under protection of the FBI, and I'm in America, where I have the means to protect myself. So I'm not really afraid of any consequences at all. When I see death threats, I assume mostly that they just come from people who are a little bit too emotional about things. And sometimes I send them a heart back, or just a laughing emoji or stuff like that, and that makes them even more angry, and they don't know what to say. But yeah, that's kind of how I started dealing with it. I later got banned from Instagram. Don't look for me on Instagram anymore. All right. But thank you so much, Richard, for your question. Man. Thanks everybody for being here again. Sir Stanley said, "Hi Ridwan, good to see an ad is being played before your video. Keep up the good work, dude." Oh yeah, you're referring to my last video about the caliphate. That video was surprisingly monetized, which is funny because I thought that video would never be monetized. I have no idea who works there at YouTube checking those monetizations, but sometimes I make a very simple topic like, why is pork banned in Islam? And then I send it for a review to get it monetized, and they say, no, reject it after a manual review. And I think, well, whatever, okay. And then I make a video about something very sensitive, which is about war and all that stuff. And then suddenly it comes back and it's monetized. It's completely arbitrary. They have no idea what they are monetizing, what they are not monetizing. I wish there was a better system. Seriously. All right. Hitman said, "Please take my question, AP." Hitman. As an enthusiastic Hitman player, I cannot ignore your comments here. So I want to find your question, but please post it again. If you want to post a question, if you want to increase the likelihood of me seeing the question, you should include Apostate Prophet and then post the question. Then I'll see it. I'll keep an eye out for Hitman, just because I love Hitman. All right, let's get back to super chats here. Oh, I will never get them done. Oh, Google user apparently made a super chat much earlier, which didn't appear to me. He said, "I testify that Islam is a joke and Momi is a turd." Yeah, if I should introduce my my shahada, my non-Islamic apostate prophet shahada, my creed, which goes, I testify that Allah is not my God, and that I will stay away from Islam. That is how what we should say from on. I should have that as a shirt, like right here, that I wear on every video. But thank you for your super chat, Google user. CPunish1 made a super chat and said, "AP fighting for the right. Jesus bless you." Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. See, this is what I love about this channel. There are atheists here. There are anti-theist atheists here. Then there are Christians. Then there are Hindus. Then there are Jews, and there are others. And there are even Muslims. And I appreciate that. I love that. All right, thank you so much, CPunish1. George Kurian made a super sticker, not a super chat. I appreciate that as well. Saint Miles said, 14.99 said, Saint Miles made a super chat and said, "Sorry, misspelled earlier. Was there a fatwa against Je suis Mila?" I don't know. I haven't seen that much about it. I've seen mostly media reports, national reports, people talking on social media. I don't believe that there has been a fatwa issued on her. I believe after the last few decades, Islamic authorities are being very careful with how they issue fatwas, because they don't want to face retributions for that. But it was just a thing across the whole country, across Muslims in the country, that in France, that issued threats against her, that went on social media and made posts, and a lot of people came to her support, which is great. I hope she will be safe. I hope she will be all right. No one should face severe consequences for simply facing their opinion about the religion. That is ridiculous. But thank you, Saint Miles, for asking the question. I appreciate it so much. Leviathan Behemoth said, "How old are you?" And I eat pork, so it means I can't get the virgins. I am 29 years old, almost 29. It's actually my birthday soon. I recently forget how old I am. Actually, it's 2020. So yeah, I'll be 29. Yeah, I don't really care about my. I think since I got married, I don't really care about my birthday anymore. I don't know why. But yeah, I'm almost 29 soon. And since you eat pork, it means definitely that you will not get virgins. So if you want to go to heaven and get virgins that have transparent skin and nice breasts that serve you and that you can have infinite sex with, while you sit on your throne, facing other Muslims who are also served by sex servants while sitting on thrones. And if you want to drink from a sweet cup of wine that doesn't make you drunk, then you need to stop eating pork, and you also need to you need to pray. So yeah. Yes, I'm actually very young to all those people who ask me. I don't know. Slutty Bart first said, "You mentioned in passing a few weeks ago that the Blue Mosque was influenced by Western architecture. That's very interesting. Any chance of a video?" I don't know. Thanks for your question, Slotty Part First. Thank you for the super chat. I don't know if I really want to make a video about how Ottoman architecture was influenced by European architecture, and Ottoman art is based on European art. It's even something they used to admit in the past, but then later Turks became religious conservative Turks became very proud about that and were like, oh no, this is our own thing. But I don't know if I really want to make a video about architecture and art, but I could actually mention that somewhere if I want to talk about the history of Islamic empires and the history of the Ottoman Empire. There's so much that I still want to get into. I want to talk about how Islam spread. I want to talk about the history of the caliphates, history of Islam as a religion in practice in the world, and I could definitely include that as well. But thank you so much for your super chat and for your question. All right, let's go. Ruthan Jontuano. I don't know how I actually pronounce your name. Said, my birthday is today. All right. Happy birthday, Ruthan. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I hope you have a wonderful, fantastic day. And hope you stay away from Islam, especially today. Oracle of Twilight made a super chat and said, love all the work you do. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Oracle of Twilight. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Nathan Gouda made a super chat, said, you're doing good work, bro. Thank you so much. I appreciate it very, very much. Thank you, really. Yeah, Zach Realist said, birthdays after a certain age are meaningless. I know, that's what I mean. It doesn't really, and I don't think about it anymore. In the past, it was kind of like a big deal, but then after a while, I guess you're like, well, who cares? You know? Okay. Revelation 22:13 said, Apostate Prophet, what do you think about the prophecy about your people? The last hour would not come until the Muslims fight with the Turks, a people whose faces would be like hammered shields. I believe it is a very unclear hadith, a very unclear prophecy, and is also an example of one of those prophecies that even if people want to interpret that as a fight against the Turks or Mongolians, I believe the hadith doesn't actually explicitly say Turks; it just mentions people. Then that would be kind of a false prophecy again, because that happened more than 1,000 years ago, and the world is still around. You know, seriously. I will make a lot of work about failed prophecies, though. Vic London said, damn, you look 35. Grow a sexy Muslim beard to look 28. Thank you, Vic London. Yeah, I know. Many people say I look much older than I am, and I've always had trouble with people thinking I was 35, even when I was like 24 or so. I don't know. I guess I've gotten much older in my face because of how tough life was. Life is hard, and yeah. But thank you so much for your super chat and for your contribution. I am that I am said, what does Alhamdulillah and Subhanallah mean? I think La ilaha illallah means no God but Allah. Alhamdulillah means basically thanks to Allah. You know, it means thanks to Allah. You say that in a moment of appreciation, or you are basically supposed to say that for anything. You're supposed to thank Allah all the time. Subhanallah is an expression of Allah's highness. It denotes that Allah is high, that He's praised. La ilaha illallah means there is no deity but Allah. Yeah. What do you think about Saudi Arabia? Whoa. You can't just ask that question, Aman Kumar. That's a very controversial question. I don't like Saudi Arabia at all. I think there is a huge hypocrisy going on in the West regarding rejecting several Islamic states and Islamic nations, but then working together with Saudi Arabia, or being against radical Islam and then working together with Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is one of the major exporters of radical Islam around the world. They are responsible for spreading Islam at universities in the Western world. So we should really, and Saudi Arabia is also a very savage regime that that oppresses human rights activists, that oppresses people, oppresses women, is in its execution of punishments against very basic people who have committed no crimes, almost as severe as ISIS. So they should really, Saudi Arabia is not really a country that we should be friends with, we should be allies with, that we should play with. But that topic makes me angry altogether. Anyways, but thank you so much for your question. Alfonso Lepul said in a super chat, is there a Quran verse used to justify sex slavery? There is. I believe, I'm not great with numbers, but chapter 4, verse 24 is a verse that basically allows Muslim men to have sex with those women that their right hand possessed. What your right hand possess is an Islamic or an Arab term for slaves. So it basically allows Muslim men to have sex with their slaves, and that is the basis for sex slavery. Much further, there are other Quran verses that imply this, and there are hadiths, reports about Muhammad, in which he explicitly says that the taking of slaves, of sex slaves, is allowed for Muslims. We have reports that he allowed it to Muslims, that he encouraged them to take those, and more. So it has a completely fundamentally Islamic basis. And I just realized that we are at an hour. I always said that these episodes should not be longer than an hour, and here I am longer than an hour. Well, I will end it in just a minute. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you so much for your participation. Thank you so much for your questions, for your words, for all your fantastic comments, for your views. If you want to support the channel, if you want to help the algorithms on YouTube, please like the live stream. If you use the like button, the like function, it actually boosts the channel and boosts the video. That is how you can help in this turbulent environment of YouTube videos. So there has been a fatwa issued on the like button, and you are supposed to execute that right now. Leanna Laney said, AP, what about writing a book? Islam on an atheist perspective. I encourage everyone to write a book. I am writing books. I have just stalled it so much over the last year. But yeah, I'm definitely working on it. It will come eventually. All right. St. Miles is, sorry, I got to switch channels because SpaceX is currently launching their next Starlink. Stay away from Islam. Go enjoy it, St. Miles. All right, I'm leaving anyways. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you a lot. Thanks for the great participation. Thanks for your support. Thanks everybody for joining me on this journey. Please go out there. Share opinions about Islam, tell your opinions about Islam, talk to people about Islam, share your opinions on social media, share articles, share videos, make articles, share my videos if you want to, study the Quran if you need to. Go out there, let's do something, let's change something, let's help people who suffer in the Islamic world. Let's help people who suffer from Islam. Let's tell more people not to convert to Islam, not to no one is converting to Islam, but still, to those few people who think that it's a great idea to look into Islam, let's tell them to stay away from Islam. Thanks everybody for being here. I will see you again next week in Weekly Apostate number 6, hopefully. Until then, have a fantastic day, and as always, stay away from Islam.